Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. I just logged in and all the cats are facing the same direction. Oh, that looks so derp. Hello, how you doing? Yeah, I moved all of the cats into this corner over here using buckets of water just to push them around. They have been starting to get to me. I thought it wouldn't be so bad, but every time I come here there's constant meowing, which is really annoying. And this guy over here, you can just about see him. Let's open the chest. He's inside the chest. I can't nudge him out of it. It looks like I nudged him out a little bit there. But this guy's hilarious. Chest cat, we'll call him. Chester. Chester the cat. It looks like actually I'd be able to nudge him out if I kept doing this on the sides. But yeah, he got stuck inside the chest. In fact, it looks like we might be able to free him here. There we go. Chester the cat has been freed. Awesome. And so, right, what are we doing this episode? Well, let's go downstairs and have a little look down here. I need to tidy this up, that's for sure. This is where I've been removing some blocks so I can break some chests and have a water stream push them into one area when I do some crafting, because I had 3 full chests of sugarcane and I decided to trade it all for some emeralds, so now we have another stack of emerald blocks and all of these as well, which is pretty awesome. So keeping stocked up on that. I've also been doing trading and I've been keeping track of all the diamonds that I've saved. That is all of them so far, so each dirt block represents a diamond basically, so we have saved a lot of those. Got a feeling though, the last time I traded here I completely forgot about this, so there might be some that I've forgotten about, so I'm going to give that some thought because I still kind of remember what I traded and I do really want to keep track of that because that's a nice little thing to do. But if we go upstairs and go outside, I've been making some progress on the wastelands. Now, I decided to do a little bit more out here. I wasn't trying to do a lot, I was just trying to have fun and get back into the swing of it. I've done all of that section right there going as far as you can see. And I can tell you, since I've been doing that, actually Mumbo is online so I can't sleep. I was about to go and sleep so we could have a better look at this. And what I'll do is I'll throw an ender pearl and then I'll get harassed by mobs and have to run away from them. But what I've realised is that you need to keep going with these projects. You know, if any of you have big projects, make sure you're always chipping away at it, because when I started doing this again, I just kind of looked at how much there was left to do and it felt kind of pointless. Whereas if you're always chipping away at it, you're always seeing progress, so it kind of keeps you motivated. And where I've taken a break from doing this lately, it has sort of taken a little bit of a toll on me. But it's, yeah, I'm getting back into the swing of it now, and I'm sure we'll do much more of this in the next few episodes as well. I don't think I'm going to come back here and do a proper episodes on the wasteland for a while yet. I just want to get back into making some progress with this right here. And now I'm getting surrounded by zombies and I'm in a hole. Here we go, I've been set on fire. Let's hop up here. Ah, that's not good. That's not good at all. Now, I want to talk about something that I did last episode. I made a huge derp and I realised it like quite a while after I'd uploaded the video. And it was ready to be published, that in the little experiment, oh that guy please, a little experiment that I did at the end, I was supposed to use a speed 2 beacon. I have enough beacons to do that, and somewhere in the process of heading out to that area, you know, it's very time consuming doing travelling and producing episodes and all these other little things that you don't see, that I just lost track of what I was doing and forgot to pick up another beacon. So next time we do that test, which might be this episode, I want to do that with a speed 2 beacon. Now, I haven't checked this for a long time. I thought I would do this on camera. Not too much in there, actually. I thought there would be a fair bit more. And I guess I haven't been spending as much time over here at the wastelands as I would have liked, because we've been over in the new territory. So I'm actually not too surprised there isn't a lot of stuff in here. I was kind of expecting to see a full chest. And there's occasional blocks of wall. Actually, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? We had the cat prank, and then the blocks have fallen... Hello. Yeah, the blocks have fallen down here into the water or something like that. Looks like we've got another cat out here. Didn't notice you. That is strange. Ah, and I have something else to show you as well, actually. Let's just press F3 and B. Someone left a comment or sent me a message about this. And when you press F3 and B, everything has a little box around it, which you can use for cheaty purposes in some ways, because if you're underground and it's dark and you can't see what's going on, then you get these nice white rectangular outlines. So a little bit of a tip right there, if you press F3 and B you get that. Maybe it will be useful to you at some point. What is going on over there? Like a little group of boxes. So you can use this to investigate your world. Just press F3 and B and then some strange stuff will start happening like this. What is that? Oh, it's an arrow. And for some reason I just notice it from further away. And then look at that, he's going around in circles. Like a madman. What are you doing, guy? It's like he's high or something. Oh, I'll take that. And he's got some ink sacs, I'll take those. So I do have a project in mind for this episode, but before we do that, we're going to go over to the spawn chunks and take a look at what Mr. Mumbo has been up to. He's been working on a big project over there that has taken him a long time, but right now what you are looking at on the screen is my new channel art. Now this was done by InkByte, and for the longest time I had resisted having anyone else do the channel art for my channel just because I'm really fussy and I didn't really want to waste anyone else's time. But after seeing the stuff that he had done and having a chat with him, he seemed like the right guy for the job, and I tell you what, he's done an absolutely fantastic job with the channel art here. I think it looks really good. And guys, leave a comment down below and let me know if you like it. I think it's fantastic. And also look in the description box for a link to a time lapse that he done, because he done a video over on his channel. Go and check him out and check out the time lapse and leave him some love, because he done a fantastic job with that. But anyway, we should be heading over to the spawn chunks now. Mr. Mumbo has just logged out and logged back in again. And by the way, there's actually something over there in the distance that you might have noticed. Can you see it just off there? There's some netherrack. Now there's a couple of caves that I found over there. I left some markers so I know where they are, and I've been reading the comments on the previous episodes when we've been working on the wastelands, and a lot of you are saying to leave things like the caves in and not to just cover them up with more stones. So I've left those markers there. We'll probably go look at that another time in another episode when we're working on the wastelands. Ah, this is new. So this is the spawn portal over here, and I was about to comment on how whenever you go through here, did you see that? There's always a bunch of flowers lying down. And I wonder how many of these are full up. Let's have a look. Oh, that is a lot. So these are the flowers from the iron golems, because what Mumbo's been working on is a new iron golem farm, and I guess he's just set this up recently because, as I said, there was always a bunch of flowers down here on the ground when you went to go through the portal. Now there is a device here, and what this does is somewhere up there there's an item filter. Look at that, there's iron golems here right now. I get the impression there's always going to be iron golems here, so it might be a bit noisy. But it separates the flowers they drop into here, and then it uses them to send items through this portal that will keep the entities processed on this side, or something like that. Something technical that throwing items through another portal will do. Now over here we have all of the chests which the iron go into. We should have a look at this first because this is the good stuff. So this has been running for about a day now, I think. And we've got... Okay, I was expecting that to be full. Okay, that one is. Okay, right, so... Well, half a chest there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... How many? Any more? Okay, so we've got about 11.5 chests full of iron. That is absolutely amazing. And let's think about it like this. How many blocks do we get out of each one? So there's a group of 9, so that's 1, 2, 6 out of each one. So that's about 60 stacks of iron. No, is that right? I think it is. 60 stacks of iron blocks. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And this took forever for Mumbo to do. By the way, these iron golems over here that are hanging, this was me. Mumbo was streaming, and I was watching, and I decided to come over here and just goof around. And so I made this little frame and put the iron golems here on strings. They look so derpy. And I tell you what, as soon as you put a block underneath one of these, they're going to die instantly. Let's do it. I feel like an iron golem killer now. Okay, so if either one of them lands on that... Wait, he just landed on it. How is that possible? They're supposed to be accumulating tons of fall damage while they're up there. Or maybe iron golems don't take fall damage. Wouldn't that be weird if that was the case? I'll tell you what, that sounds like a job for some sort of myth-busting person. I'll tell you what, I do want to know that now. That is really strange. Yeah, the whole time that they're suspended like that, they're in free fall. So if they land on a block, then they've accumulated tons of fall damage the time that they've been, you know, not standing on a block. Anyway, let's go up the top here. This thing is called the Iron Foundry. I think I remember that correctly. It is by Tango Tech. There'll be a link to his tutorial and his channel in the description box, because that guy is just awesome. And this thing is awesome as well. I don't even know how half of this works. It simulates, I think, or it makes the villagers believe that there are tons of individual villages up here, and so because of that, tons and tons of iron golems spawn in this middle area. and that is about as much as I know. I haven't watched this tutorial. It is an hour long, and I was like, I would like to know how this works, but I can't really watch an hour long video. Probably wouldn't hold my interest for that long. But this is a fantastic build by Mumbo. It must have taken him a hell of a long time to do this. In fact, I know it took him a long time because he spent ages placing the doors and having trouble with them and all that kind of stuff. And I also think he has room for more doors. I think he can put them in over here as well, and then they'll start to produce more iron. But I don't know where he is at the moment. I assume he's somewhere around here. Maybe he's back at his base now that this is finished. But one of the things that we need to do that I keep talking about, and I think is a project that I would like to start work on, is sort out this spawn chunk area. Now we've got this massive farm here, we've got stuff like this that doesn't even work, that's just creating a bit of an eyesore, and I think what we should do is come here and tidy this place up. Now my first thought is to create like a perimeter, like a DocM style perimeter like I've done on the previous map where I half slabbed the floor. Although with something like this, wouldn't it be cool if we just put iron blocks down everywhere in sight, because this thing produces enough to do that, and then it'll be a pretty remarkable spawn area to come in and just see a completely flattened area with nothing but iron blocks everywhere. I think that would look awesome. But if you have any suggestions for things we could do, put them down in the comment box. Another idea that I had was to flatten everything out with grass and then cover the whole place in red flowers. Now that might sound a bit dull and it probably wouldn't look that great, but all of the red flowers would actually stop mobs from spawning to some degree. I think things like this might possibly get in the way of that working, but there would always be a block in which the algorithm for spawning couldn't start in 20 blocks, you know, in each direction, because there's flowers everywhere. So you could have it dark and there'd be no mobs spawning, and you'd log on and there'd be a bunch of flowers everywhere. And now that I talk about it, it sounds like a bad idea actually. Anyway, let's go and head over to the 1.7 Hermittown and start on this project I have in mind. So I've had a change of heart. I decided that before we start this project, I'd actually like to get the branch mining experiment finished, because in the last episode, like I mentioned already, I forgot to use the speed 2 beacon. That is now in effect. As you can see here, we have speed 2 and haste 2, and here's something interesting. You can have the ladders in this block here and it doesn't block the beam, which is pretty cool. Now this location isn't too far from the wastelands. The wastelands is over in that direction. You can just about see the edge of the desert biome over there. And so it's a couple hundred blocks in that direction, which means that this area down here should be fairly untouched. Now, if someone's gone mining in this area already, then there's nothing really I can do about that, but I don't think anyone's really come up to this area, so I've kind of got everything ready, and I guess it's now time for me to start this. And I'm going to do it like I did before. I'm going to time everything, and then we can kind of have a look at how effective this is when we're done. So I finished doing the branch mining. It took me 45 minutes in total, which is 5 minutes less than last time. However, we did get less diamonds overall, but I think this is down to luck of the draw, so I'm not too bothered about that. Now when I was mining over in this direction, which is where I started, I was thinking this is going to take a lot longer because the terrain was really unforgiving over there. There was lots of lava, there were cave spider spawners and mine shafts and lots of mobs. And that's another point actually, I've had mobs slowing me down the whole time I was doing this, so I'd say probably overall it was about 40 minutes worth of work. Now there was this one point where I came back here and started dropping things off, and I was thinking, do you know what, a creeper can just walk in one of these entrances at any point and they could blow up my beacons. And of course as I turn around there's mobs everywhere, and a beacon came up, a creeper came over and blew this bit up right here. So it almost happened, and then I just started blocking these off after I was finished. So that is that done. Now we can head over to the 1.7 area. So here we are, we have arrived. We are at Hermittown 1.7 and we're going to start work on the project. So I better tell you what the project is about. Now what I want to do is create a better way for us to communicate with each other on the server. And this can be incredibly simple just with a few visual indicators, I believe. Now one of the things I did is I set up mailboxes for everyone when we first came here, and I don't know if people have really been using these. And oh well, that's the same one I've got in my mailbox. I was about to get to that. I came over here with this project in mind where we're going to create free books for everyone and also change the mailbox system so people understand when they have mail or not, and then that way it makes it easier to communicate with each other. And so one of the first things I thought when I came over here was, I wonder if I've got any mail. And what would you know, Joe Hills has caught on to the mailboxes and he's given us all a book by the looks of it. So we will read this. Hermitcraft fanfiction. Oh, this is 12 pages long and I'm terrible at reading. I'll tell you what, I'm going to read that again in a bit, but I will just skip through the pages one by one. then you guys can pause the video and read it if you want to read the story that Joe Hills has written. And so, yeah, I'll just flick through these pages quickly for you. There we go, page 8 of 12, 9, 10, 11, and there you go. So if you want to read that, just pause the video bit by bit. I will of course read that in a moment, but right now we're going to talk about the project. So there is a bit of redstone, a bit of technical stuff that goes into it, and we're going to be building something, I think, right here between me and Mumbo's house. Now I know Mumbo won't mind me putting a little project just here. There's a little bit of space, although I will scout around for another location. Like here could be a good place, but then this is Hypno's turf, so I don't know if he'd want me building something right next to his house. We could also put it further down here, but the further away we get from the main path, the less likely people are to see it. So I think up here is probably a good spot. You know, there's already a bit of a gap. It's right next to my plot. Mumbo will probably be cool with it. And so what we're going to do is build like a little post box thing. And I've tried to make something that looks decent on my creative server, and it hasn't gone too well so far, but I got something that doesn't look too bad and hopefully will fit in this area. So when people come into the new Hermittown, they're going to see this postal box thing on the side. They're going to come over to it, and it's basically going to dispense them with free books. So that is one half of the project. I've got this chest over here with all of the things that we need. So we have redstone and droppers and dispensers to do that little project. So what I'll probably do is just build it and explain how the redstone works when it's done. And then all of this other stuff like the leather, the feathers and the papers is to provide people with books. And then also we have this lime wool and this grey wool as well. So we're going to be providing people with free books. I have tons, as you've seen, of leather, ink sacs and paper. So they're the things that you need to make books. And the other thing that we're going to do, the other half of the project, is redo the mailbox. I keep picking up the wrong things. I need a chest. Let's grab a chest. So what we're going to do is redo the way these look. Now I may make them a little bigger than just the 2 blocks that they are at the moment, which is a fence post and a chest like this one over here. What we're probably going to do is have it so I've got to think about this a little bit. We're probably going to have a half slab here. Then this block will either be a lime wall or a grey wall. Now if it's a grey wall, it means that you've checked your mailbox and you've read all the things that are in there and you're happy with it. But then if someone comes along and they want to leave you something, then what they'll do is they'll change out the grey wall from underneath and they'll put in the lime wall instead. So both of those walls will be stored in this box, and it means if someone leaves you a message, they can change the wall and then you'll see it when you come on. So there'll be a little bit of green or grey underneath the box, which is really simple, isn't it? I don't need to explain it more than that. And then I'm going to go around as well and put everyone's mailbox in place at the edge of their plot. So when you walk down the path here, you can see all the mailboxes in front of people's builds, and then they'll be able to, you know, go out and check it when they have some mail or not. So it's time for me to start building and stop rambling. We're going to do this bit first of all. I'm going to build the little post box, do all the redstone, and then show you that when it's done. I gotta say, this project is a lot of fun. I finished building the little mailbox over there. Did that zombie just spawn right then? And he's headed in that direction. Oh, he's trying to go around the outside to come over here probably. I was thinking because he was walking that way that maybe there's villagers over there, but no, he's coming for me. Yeah, so the little mailbox building is down there. I guess we're going to have to kill this guy, and then some of his friends are probably going to spawn in while I'm trying to record. But yeah, let's have a look at the mailbox building first of all. So this is it right here. It's very simple. I tried to, you know, go with something that was red and that had a little British mailbox thing. If you've seen a British mailbox, it's basically like a 2-block high box like this that kind of comes out of the ground. In fact, in real life, they're about 1.5 meters tall, and they're red, and you've got a little slot to put your books in. Now this is slightly different because you're getting free books from them, and we need to hide the redstone and stuff like that as well. So it's ended up looking like this, which I think it looks alright, and you know what, it's a small little build, it doesn't matter too much. Now to get down to all the redstone stuff behind it, we go down here, and there's really not a lot to this. If you have a look here, we've got some redstone torches and redstone that bring a signal downwards, and I've tested this on my creative world, which is a bucket server. We're going to do a proper test in a moment because I haven't put any books into this, but this bit on the side here is like a storage silo. There's lots of chests and hoppers. We put in the books at the top, they make their way down to the bottom, and then they will always have this dropper filled up. Now every time you press the button at the top a item is going to move up either 1 dropper or 2 depending on where it is, and if it moves up 2 and it's got another one behind it, they move up 2 as well. And so each time you press the button, the books are just going to move up 1 block all the way up to the top and come out of the dispenser. So it's not going to get backed up is the point I'm trying to make. So we can always have it filled up with books, and then every time you press this it's going to dispense you with one. So I do need to do a test on that because it is, as I said, been tested on a bucket server which operates slightly differently. So then it's my duty to keep this stocked up. That's why I brought loads of these, and we have that little storage silo down there. And another thing about the storage silo, it's not next to any powered blocks. All the powered blocks are on this side, so you can see this torch is off. That's because this block is powered, and because of that it means none of these are going to get locked up by the torches. So if ever you fill it up with books, they're going to filter down into the bottom and be ready to use. So it's a pretty cool little system right there. One thing I do want to do is make a little access route from my basement area where I've got the storage room that we did a couple of episodes ago, because at the moment the way I've got it is you break this block here and then you open the trapdoor and you can access the hopper. And nope, didn't want to do that, did I? I wanted to pick up that block and close it. Anyway, I'm really pleased with how this is going because I've just checked out what the mailbox is going to look like. So let's go over here. What I want to do is put everyone's mailbox alongside the road. So when you're walking down here, you're going to be able to see it. Now this grey, it blends in nicely. It's a little bit darker. Could have gone with a lighter colour, but it's not really that noticeable. It doesn't really jump out at you. However, if we replace it with the lime green wall, then it really does pop out. That is really bright, and when you're walking down here, it's really visible, which I like. So yeah, I'm just really happy with how simple that is, you know, just such a simple system. There is a lime wall in here because at the moment I don't have any mail that I haven't read, and so it'll be like that. But for everyone else, they're going to have lime underneath theirs because I'm going to write them all a book explaining, you know, what the mailbox system is, how to use it. It's going to be pretty simple. If you leave mail in someone's mailbox, you change the wall to green, and then when that person's read it, they're going to change it back to grey. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I'll also inform people in the book that I make about the ABBA tournament because more people have signed up, but still I don't think everyone has signed up just yet, so we want to make sure everyone knows about that as well. So almost everything is done now. The only thing we need to do is test that the post office thing works, and I put in all of the mailboxes, so why don't we go and have a look at all of them and where they're positioned. Now I'm building on other people's plots technically, which I don't really want to do. But I want to implement this so people can see how it works. So obviously they'll be free to move this if they don't like where I put it. So Juicer's is over here in the ground. There wasn't kind of a leveled up area around here, so I thought what I'd do is put a half slab there, and then you can just about see the front of the lime wall. And that's kind of what we're going for here. You don't want to see a lot of this. You don't want the colour to be too intrusive because it is quite bright. So over here at Red Eyes, we have a little stone brick thing I've built on the side here with that. I think that fits in quite nicely. Of course he can move it if he wants to. And in here I've already put this ABBA caving tournament thing, so we'll have a quick look at that. In case you are interested to see what I've written, you can pause the video. Just letting people who haven't entered the ABBA tournament know that it's there. And then this thing, let's just drag all of those out so I can shift click them in like that. This is all about the new mailboxes, which we will read in a moment. We're just going to go around and drop these in everyone's mailbox. So this is Monkey Farm's plot over here, by the way. He's put down a sign. So I've given him a mailbox as well. Schisms. You'll notice that some of them have the ABBA caving book in. That's just for people who haven't signed up already. So Pungence is going to be building on this plot over here. Then we have DMAC just here, who's built a modern looking tent right there. And we've got Mumbo's over here. He hasn't entered into the ABBA caving tournament just yet. And all of these other ones right here I haven't been commenting on much. That's just because it's the same old thing. Put the half slab in front of the box. The only ones that are different, I think, is Biffa's. Hang on a minute, I've got 3 left. Is that right? I think I've missed someone. I'm not sure. I thought I counted it out correctly. Now, I was thinking about putting Biffa's down the end there, but it seemed kind of pointless. You don't really need to see if anyone else's mailbox has got mail in it, just yours. So I thought I'd put it up the path in the end. So the last 2 books... Oh, I did get it right. Okay. The last 2 books are for Zombie Cleo and Joe, who don't really have like a proper base entrance area yet. So I thought I'd put it at the bottom of Zombie Cleo's stairs. So here's one for each of them. And actually, let's read this quickly so you guys know what it says as well. So new mailboxes, Hermittown 1.7 has had its mailboxes upgrade to a new notification system. Below your mailbox is a lime green wall. This is to indicate when you have unread mail. When you are done reading your mail, you can replace the wall with the grey wall. PTO, that means please turn over, supplied in the chest. When dropping off mail into someone's mailbox, you can do the opposite and replace the grey wall with lime, provided... Wait, lime... Oh, comma, provided they have read all their mail. This system should make it much easier to communicate with each other, PTO. There is also a post office between Mumbo's and Asuma's houses. The post office provides you with free books. Just press the button to get a book. Hope you like the system, Asuma. So there we go. Everyone should know about this now. That's great. I think it's going to work a treat. And what we need to do now is test the post office to make sure that it works. So as I said, I tested this on a bucket server, and redstone just works slightly different on there, so this might not work. But what we're going to have to do is press this a whole bunch of times. Now I filled up all of this on the side here with the books, and I've got this many left over, and that was out of 5 stacks. So if you have a look down the bottom here, all of these are filled up, and all of these as well. If we just right click on those, you can see all the way up to the top, they are basically filled up. There you go, chest at the top there, with books. So now when we press this, let's press it once, then the book is going to go up to here, and there shouldn't be one above it. That's good. So let's do that again. Now we should have one here, unless it's gone up twice, which it has. There's the occasional position it goes up twice, one in that one. And so we're just checking this so that it never gets backed up, because if multiple ones start coming up at the same time, then they could end up getting backed up. Come on. There we go. So there's one in there. Is that correct? I thought there wouldn't be one in the dispenser. Let's press it again. Okay, so I think it dispenses the one that's in there, and then the other one comes up from the dropper down below. That makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. And if we go all the way down here, just check. Yep, there's still one in each of these, except that one goes up twice, so there's one there and above it, and then a gap again. No, the one after that is a gap. Yeah, excellent. So it works just like it did on my server, which is great. Now we can put these books back into the storage system on the side, so I need to remove this block. There we go, open that, bung those in there, in they go, into the system. Awesome, and that is that done. I just need to put a half slab there, and our post office project has been finished. So this episode I have been going back and forth in this area, installing mailboxes, picking up materials, just wandering around, and the whole time I think these sheep have been here watching. Now I've just noticed them, and I thought, hang on, these have been here the whole time, right? And I think what's happening here is they're standing on this part of the block. There is a fence post where they're standing. There's water over here, and I think their AI is kind of tricked into thinking they can't move anywhere. So they just stay put, which is interesting. And I doubt Xisum put them there intentionally. They probably wandered over and got themselves stuck in that corner. But just something I noticed here as I was looking around thinking, what else do we have to do? So all I have left to do is just to tidy up this chest, which won't take me too long. So I thought I'd wrap up the episode here. I think this has been an awesome project. It's going to be really good for communicating with other people on the server. But that wraps it up for this episode. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.